The leader was inspecting a gun when, in the next second, his subordinate was gone. The man questioned what was going on. The leader pointed a gun at him, but the man calmly took the gun from the leader. The leader's men immediately aimed their guns at the man, but he continued to take out a handkerchief and wipe the gun. The leader stopped his men, intrigued by the man's composure. This was the nerve of a world-class arms dealer. The man continued to introduce the firearm to the leader while the body of the deceased soldier was dragged away. The leader and the man happily concluded a deal. In a part of Africa, this place was a land of freedom and a paradise for arms smugglers. During their civil war, the man had established cooperative relationships in various African countries, and his business grew larger. One day, the man's private plane, loaded with weapons, was preparing to fly to Africa when it encountered an Interpol agent. The agent raked the man's plane with gunfire and ordered him to immediately land at a nearby airport for inspection. To avoid capture, the man immediately instructed the pilot to make an emergency landing in a crowded area. Next, he had to destroy all evidence before the police arrived. He opened the plane's hatch, lowered the ladder, and then picked up an AK-47, placing it in the hands of a villager. Seeing that they could get it for free, others climbed onto the plane, with some taking grenades, others taking guns, and still others taking ammunition, and even some people moved an entire crate of weapons. In no time, all the weapons and ammunition were taken by the villagers. By the time the police arrived, all that was left was an empty plane. Without evidence, the police were at a loss, but they had the right to detain him for 24 hours. During this period, the man clearly understood the capabilities of the villagers. By dawn, the plane had been dismantled into a mere frame, and even the tires were taken away. When the man returned to his hotel, he found the leader already waiting for him. The leader had found the informant for him. It turned out to be the man's competitor. The leader put a handgun into the man's hand and then held the man's hand, pulling the trigger. The old man died. This was Yuri's first kill, and he realized the cruelty of war. The man was very regretful. So after returning to his country, the man no longer engaged in arms dealing but instead started a legitimate business. On this day, the leader personally went to the United States to find the man and told him that he urgently needed a large number of weapons. Unexpectedly, the man flatly refused on the spot. He no longer wanted to be an arms dealer, but the leader misunderstood it as something else. He took out a diamond and put it into the man's hand. Looking at the diamond in his hand, the man was in a dilemma. Should he continue to be an arms dealer or engage in legitimate business?